Woo-wee, folks. Well, I think things just got turned up a level at the Australian Open. Last night, we saw an absolutely epic 5-set thriller between Federer and John Millman. We also saw Serena Williams go down and Naomi Osaka go down. So we're going to check in on the action that happened in day 5 and look ahead to day 6 in this episode of The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Well, folks, how are you holding up with the lack of sleep that you should be having if you're a true tennis fan, especially to the fans in North America? Late night matches here. For those of you who stayed up to watch Federer's match last night, I'm sure you're up basically all night. I did not watch it live, but I went back. I've just gone back and watched the highlights, watched the extended highlights, watched the entire 5th set tiebreaker, and I literally have adrenaline and like sweats. I was nervous watching it, even though I knew the outcome, because that's how good of a match it was. Wow. So we're going to talk about Federer's win, almost lost. Federer almost lost to the Millman, John Millman. Millmania almost took out Federer. And we're going to look at some of the women's matches and the 5th and day 6 coming up. So thank you for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't. And make sure you stay till the end of this video to see how you can be involved in the Slice and this tennis journalism taking over. So thanks for being here. And John Millman and Roger Federer obviously have a history because of the match at the US Open in 2018 when Millman took out Federer. Federer was physically not his best that night. John Millman played great and won. So that was a weird one. Today, or last night, was a lot different because Federer played pretty good. He had a lot of unforced errors, but at the end of the match, he put that to bed, saying that it was a 4-hour match and he doesn't, just his style ends up, if it's that long, there's going to be a lot of errors. But John Millman played absolutely amazing in this match. Make no mistake about it. I would say, just from what I saw in the highlights and things like that, he was playing like a top 10 level for sure, maybe even higher. And he would have beaten most anyone on tour in the way he was playing last night. He just played great. And from what I saw between Federer and him, he was playing very Djokovic-esque, where he's running down everything, counterpunching super well. Federer said after the match he didn't know what to do. He didn't know if he should pull the trigger on shots or not, because he said obviously like he can kind of do anything. He can almost pull the trigger from anywhere. But if the guy on the other side of the net is playing so well and he's going to get there every time, you change your tactics. So Federer said that John Millman was making it extremely tough for him. And it basically came down to the 5th set tiebreaker. And it started off, John Millman raced ahead, and then it was a super tiebreaker, so it was till 10. So John Millman took a lead 8-4 in the tiebreaker by playing amazing tennis, hitting like 3 passing shots, running passing shots. Federer's pressing the issue. John Millman was stepping up. And then Federer went on a 6-point run to win the tiebreaker 10-8. And he just shut the door and just did absolutely legend status things to close out that match. But such a close match, could have gone either way. And all props to John Millman, who I am a huge fan of. I had massive respect for him after when he beat Federer at the US Open, because he didn't really gloat. He just kind of knew the circumstances, and he seems like the most humble, legendary guy on tour, and he's like a journeyman. He's just been working hard his whole career, and he's had a great attitude, and he seems like an absolute legend. So congrats to John Millman on a great match. Tough loss, obviously, and stoked for Federer to pull through that one. So now what's Federer's level going to be like going forward? Because this was obviously a physically taxing match, big time. I think that, well, it all depends on how the next match goes, I think. He should be okay. He said 2 fairly straightforward matches. He was a lot more aggressive in those matches than we saw here, but that's mostly because John Millman was a much more worthy opponent on this day than in the previous 2 rounds. John Millman, I think at this level, played better than he'll play in Fucsovich's next. Fucsovic, however you say that. But I don't think Federer's going to be out from how tired he is, but he is going to really enjoy that day of rest between now and his next match against Fucsovic, who took out Tommy Paul very simply today. So we'll see. We'll see what Federer shows up. If Federer plays aggressive and confident, he'll beat Fucsovic. If he plays on his back foot and he's tired or he's hampered by anything physically, it could get dicey for him. So now, even though Federer's quarter has opened up, which the Djokovic and Nadal fans say here, because I said he had the hardest draw, because I saw Millman, I saw Shapovalov, I saw Hurkacz. He didn't have to play those for the last 2 guys, but he did have to play Millman, and he's tough. It has opened up, though, because Berrettini lost. So he has opportunity if he can rally his body together. But, like, I mean, it's understandable that he might take a little bit of time getting better, because he's 48 years old. And it's funny that Leighton Hewitt, John Millman's, was in his box, is the same, or he's 38, sorry, he's the same age as Federer. And Hewitt is watching Federer probably being like, how is Millman playing better in a Grand Slam than I basically ever have against Federer? But yeah, legendary that Federer's even playing at 38. And congrats for pulling out this massive epic win against Millman. In other news, epic win by Shui Wang beats Serena Williams in 3 sets. And I watched this match, and she was a better player for basically the entire match. Serena somehow pulled out the second set, but Wang was playing super good, super focused, and just won. And it's disappointing if you're a Serena fan. She's trying to get to that number 24, obviously, to, I think, beat or tie Margaret Court for the all-time Grand Slam record. But she's been choking the last year and a half, but she's also getting very old, and she's a mother, so you got to give her a break for that, but didn't play her best tennis yesterday or make the right choices. So she lost there. Congrats to Wang. And then Coco Gauff also beat Naomi Osaka. So like 2 years ago, 2018 US Open, Naomi Osaka beat Serena Williams in the final, becoming legendary. She's the new girl on the tour. And then she won the Australian Open the next year. And then now Coco Gauff is taking over. Like, it just keeps getting younger for new legends on the women's side, making me very excited to keep covering it. So congrats to Coco Gauff. Showed crazy mental stability and maturity for 15. It's just ridiculous. Like, when I was 15, I hadn't even started playing tennis yet. So her future is unbelievably bright. Djokovic got extremely hot defeating Nishioka. You know, we were like, where's his level at? He beat a guy named Ito, also from Japan in the last round. Didn't look that good. He looked pretty good. Defeats Nishioka, serving amazingly. 17 aces, 74% first serves in, and lost only 8 points on a serve in the entire match. So unreal. You gotta think how much of that is because Nishioka is like a midget and he's like, you know, can't get to a lot of these balls. And also just how much of it is his unbelievable serving. He's going to be playing Schwartzman next, who's been playing well, very under the radar right now. So that'll be definitely a tougher test for Djokovic to see where his level's at. Also another shorter guy, though. I think Djokovic will get more hurt by somebody like Cilic or Raonic, who will play after Schwartzman if he gets through. So if you're a Joker fan, you're stoked off that performance. And he won't have to play Tsitsipas, which may or not be good because Raonic beat Tsitsipas. He was the better man on the day, and just with some huge serving, we saw some vintage Raonic and gets through to play possibly Djokovic if he can take out Cilic. So there's one Canadian left, and he's rolling into the 4th round. So now we got day 6 tonight, which a lot of these matches are in the day session, so I'm going to be able to watch them. We got Nadal versus Pablo Carreño Busta. Going to be a good test for Nadal's level, see where he's at. Better player today. Pablo Carreño Busta is pretty good on hard courts, and he has played well before. Then we got Fritz versus Thiem. I'm going to be excited to watch that one. And then Nick Kyrgios versus Khachanov. We got a new article about, is Kyrgios a villain or a hero, on the slicetennis.com. A new article written by friend of the show, Beckett Chung. So check that out on the slicetennis.com. So yeah, I'm predicting Nadal beating Pablo Carreño Busta. I'm predicting Thiem beating Fritz, and I'm predicting Kyrgios beating Khachanov pretty straightforwardly after Khachanov just almost collapsed at the end of his 5-setter. I'm like, 5-setter. 5-setter, I think yesterday or last night. Yesterday. So that's what I'm predicting for day 6. So thank you for tuning in, folks. If you're interested in supporting the Slice, you can grab your Aussie Open limited edition collector's item tee off the website in the link below. That supports the Slice and helps you be fresh on and off the court. Also, you can pick up a bagel time mug if that's more your thing. You can also join the Patreon show, which is called the Front Row Show. You can call in. You can give your topics to get covered on the exclusive shows that you get access to. And then when I go to tournaments, we report live to you from the grounds, and you help us get there. So I really appreciate your guys' support. Subscribe if you haven't, and stay tuned for more coverage, day-to-day coverage at the Australian Open from the Slice Tennis News.